find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me get my camera on. Hello. Ooh, child, that's bright. Bitch. Oh, God. Maybe that's too dark. I don't give a fuck. Girl, what's the tea? How y'all doing, honey? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't done so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, because we all know that sharing is caring, bitch, okay? And to go a step further, tap that notification bell. That way you're updated each and every time I'm uploading something new, honey, okay? Girl, we got some things to get into. We have some things to get into today. Thank you for joining me. What's up, D? How are you? Yes, God, honey. You heard the man. Sorry I'm a little late. I just woke up, had to take me a shower, girl. Ooh. What's the tea? Hopefully you guys are having a blessed weekend, okay? Yes, ma'am. Yes, God, honey. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. We have much to discuss, honey, as it relates to global warming and, girl, like our imminent, extinction, girl. Like, it's crazy. And before we go any further, prayers up for Haiti, bitch. I find it really crazy that, I went to the gym this morning and I came home, took a shower, and went to sleep. And I wake up and I hear the devastating news that Haiti has been hit with a 7.2 magnitude earthquake, bitch. 90 miles from Port-au-Prince, which is the capital of Haiti. Girl, when I tell you, like, it's crazy how this commentary, that I thought of yesterday and plan to do as we're doing right now, and then all of a sudden we hear this devastating news. It couldn't have came at a crazier time, because we're going to be talking about these very, crazy ass, fatal, weather disasters, girl. Prayers up for Haiti, girl. Let us bow our heads just real quick, girl, and let's pray for them. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you touch the people that have been affected by this, this devastation in their nation, dear Lord. We ask that you cover them and that you comfort them in their time of need. We ask that every resource be led to help these people. In your name we pray, amen, honey. All right. And one thing I want to say about Haiti, back in 2010, girl, they were fucking destroyed with a earthquake that was actually a little bit less powerful than this one. And they lost nearly 300,000 people. Yes, ma'am, you heard me right. 300,000 people died. And one thing, and although my heart goes out to them, we have to be realistic. The fact that we're in 2021 and we are dealing with third world countries, the fact that that's still a thing, a third world country is still a thing, furthermore lets you know that the world is a selfish ass bitch. These other countries out here that have more than enough to come through and help. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. Many moons ago, we always talk about the corruption that goes on in these governments, and Haiti is no exception. Unfortunately, back then when that earthquake devastated their lands, we gave them a lot of money. And a lot of that money, like I keep on reporting, has been, doled out. People have been putting in their fucking pockets, girl, for special interest. And these devastations probably wouldn't be as much or chaotic if they were to use the money for infrastructure like it was intended for. You know what I mean? So all of my heart goes out to them, and bitch, no one should be losing lives. But the fact that your government continues to steal the money that other countries do send for aid, and line their pockets with it. Same thing with Puerto Rico. We talked about, with all of that bullshit they experienced with that hurricane. Like, girl, like y'all are pocketing these coins to further your own agendas or to just pleasure yourselves, and your people, every other, horrible weather phenomenon type of season, the girls are losing their lives because in only if you were to invest the money in infrastructure, they may be able to weather those storms, like it really sucks for them. And because they're so poor, it's hard to communicate, with a poor country who has a really shitty ass fucking communication system, just a shitty ass system in every facet, whether it's government, whether it's, the economy and all kinds of shit, child. It's a hot fucking mess. And yeah, just like Jay said, shout out to Jace. Hey boo, how you doing? Miss Lovely Day One, how are you? Yes, God, honey. There's a lot of civil unrest because their president was just assassinated recently. We touched on that through. So Haiti is going through it, honey. When I say these people are resilient as fuck, they're resilient as fuck. But I'm tired. First of all, let's just point this out. Don't you find it crazy that America only covers Haiti, girl, when they've been devastated? We don't talk about their fucking crushing poverty status. We have poverty over here, but they have crushing poverty status over there. Poverty that will kill you instantly, damn near. You feel what I'm saying? It's a different type of poverty over there, girl. You know what I mean? And poverty in a third world country, girl, I don't even want to imagine what that's like. So imagine the lack of resources. They don't even have the basic necessities, girl. So it's just horrible for them, but it's also horrible for their government independence. I think they are the only true free, Black people, girl, in the Western Hemisphere. So what's the point of all that when your people are dying because they don't have their basic needs? So my question is, what's the next step? What's going to be done? And I believe just today alone, there's over 300 people that have been reported dead. But girl, many are still missing. Many are unaccounted for. You feel what I'm saying? Many are injured than a motherfucker. And if in 2010, a lesser earthquake, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that's saving these people is the fact that it was 90 miles off of the coast. You feel what I mean? But still, it could be devastating. And now they have to be, even though they lifted the tsunami warning, it's still a very heavy possibility. A tsunami would wipe Haiti off of the map. The same way it continuously does islands in Japan, islands over there in fucking the Philippines. It is horrible, girl. It is horrible. And that is what ties in the ultimate conversation piece and why we are gathered here today, honey. Hey, Nate, how are you? Hello, God. Voval, how are you, boo? What's going on, y'all? Welcome. This is a fragile time, not just for humanity, but for the earth herself. You know what I mean, girl? We are causing most of this destruction, and we're going to get into it. Make sure you guys are sharing this stuff out. Get it together for those that are going to be watching the replay. God bless, honey, because we're going to get into some things, girl. We have no choice. So every year or so, every couple of years or so, there are a group of scientists that specialize in environmental analysis, right? And there's many different levels to the kind of reports and different types of scientists there are. But ultimately, the bigger label is environmental science. These people have been tasked to put together, their research, their hypotheses, you know what I'm saying? But more so when it's dealing with the most important thing that's factual, right? They've already done the studies. They've done all the fucking testing they can do. And at the end, they render their verdict and they issue these reports to the governments of the world. So I'm going to read something from their report. This is the summarized headlines version. So it's basically their version of Cliff Notes, girl, for us. Okay. I'm going to read a couple of things here, give some commentary. We're going to play a video, girl, give some commentary. We're going to be here for a minute, girl. Okay. So get comfortable, bitch. Because girl, this is some crazy shit. And this isn't just today. Many years have gone by, and these specialized scientists have been telling these world leaders, girl, about the devastation that global warming will in fact cause, leading up until now. Let's get into it. So the headlines, statements from the summary for policymakers. This is when a policymaker doesn't want to read the full report, because there are many, many pages or hundreds of pages that they have to go through. So what they do is they write summaries, girl. Again, their version of Cliff Notes. The current state of the climate, it's titled. It is unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land. Widespread and rapid changes in the atmosphere, ocean, cryosphere, biosphere have occurred. The scale of recent changes across the climate system as a whole and the present state of many aspects of the climate system are unprecedented over many centuries to many thousands of years, girl. Human-induced climate change is already affecting many weather and climate extremes in every region across the globe, girl. Evidence of observed changes in extremes such as heat waves, heavy precipitation, droughts, and tropical cyclones, and in particular their attribution to human influence, has strengthened since the fifth assessment report was done. Improved knowledge of climate process, paleoclimate, evidence in the response of climate system to increasing radiative forces gives a best estimate of equilibrium climate. Child, I don't know all that shit, girl. What the fuck we talking about, girl? Basically, girl, our shit is fucked. Basically, you know what I'm saying? I took one environmental science class, girl, and I think I'm a professor, girl. No God, okay. But basically, that's put it in layman terms, girl. We have done fucked up this good world, honey. We are looking at a lot of, again, devastation in the nation, girl, as we see with Haiti, as we see with the wildfires going on in California, as we see with the flooding going on in Germany recently. Girl, we are fucked, girl. Volcanoes erupting. Remember last year, Hawaii had that, girl, no one even knew. It just fucking happened. Girl, it's a mess. I do want to read a couple more things here. This is a long list, so I'm gonna limit it because the bulk of what we're gonna talk about is in this video, and I don't want to, girl. What I will do is post this list. I'll put the link in the description after the video. That's what If you're interested, you can read it yourself, girl. It's crazy. Just a few more things. Improved knowledge of climate processes. Okay, we already talked about that, girl. Possible climate futures is another thing they have going on here. And this is just possibilities based on the research that they've conducted. Global surface temperatures will continue to increase until at least the mid-century under all emission scenarios considered. Global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius will be exceeded during the 21st century unless deep reductions in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions occur in the coming decades, girl. What's up, Dion? How you doing, baby? We just started. I'm just reading a couple things from this environmental report, and then we're going to get into a video, and we're going to get to the tea, honey, okay? So basically what that's telling us is that, girl, we're going to be living in a fucking fire desert. We have polluted this earth to the point where all the ice caps are melting. Global warming is a very real thing. And girl, it's happening. It's melting everything, girl. The ozone layer is fucked. It's cracking open. Those ultraviolet radiation rays, girl, from the sun are piercing through, girl, heating up our fucking earth. It is almost over with, girl. It is almost over with. What's up, Naya? How are you? Welcome to the platform. Yep, we are fucked. It's so hot in Virginia. I'm telling you, and like I said in my video from this morning, it hasn't snowed in places it should have snowed for the past several years in their winters. Some people are experiencing a summer that I experienced in Florida for the first time, bitch, in places they shouldn't be. Girl, it's raining in places it shouldn't be. It's flooding in places it shouldn't be. I'm telling you. Many changes in the climate system become larger in direct relation to increasing global warming. They include increases in the frequency and intensity of hot extremes, marine heat waves, girl, and heavy precipitation, agricultural and ecological droughts in some regions, and proportion of intense tropical cyclones, as well as reductions in Arctic sea ice, snow cover, and permafrost. Girl, let me tell you something. We're going to get into some things. Like I said, girl, we're going to get into some things, girl. We have a lot to discuss, especially as it relates to permafrost. You know, if you've been on my platform, you know what the tea. We've talked about permafrost before, girl, and its heavy, heavy implications, girl. Girl, okay. They claim that continued global warming is projected to further intensify. Oh, I already said that. Oh, no, I didn't. They claim continued global warming is projected to further intensify the global water cycle, including its variability, global monsoon precipitation, and the severity of wet and dry events, girl. We are basically, to sum it all up, girl, the way we are on, the track that we are on right now, we are going to kill ourselves, girl. And before we probably can even get to that point, Mother Earth will do the job for us, because history has shown that, girl, there have been mass extinction level events that have taken away life, girl, to just get add to rebirth. And Mother Earth has always remained. Hello, God. She is not playing, girl. The spirit of Gaia is not playing, girl. Okay? The fuck out of here. Many changes due to past and future greenhouse gas emissions are irreversible for centuries to millennia from now, girl, especially changes in the ocean, ice sheets, and global sea level. Bitch, do you hear what they're saying? It's basically too fucking late, girl. Girl, I have been spewing this from the rooftops for a long time on this platform. And the girls think that I'm crazy. They think that I'm just out here smoking fairy dust, girl. No, bitch, it's the truth. The earth is dying because of our fucking interaction, our negative interaction with it, girl. We don't even have a symbiotic relationship with the earth like our ancestors used to. They're saying, basically, to sum some of this shit up, they're saying that we in this life, our generation, our time here, our civilized world, we've done more damage to the earth to wrap around a whole millennia, girl, versus our predecessors, our ancestors, girl. What's up, Lock Queen? How you doing? We are done for. And don't forget the water currents. Hello, that's what's causing. See, and girl, you don't even have to go to college. Just read upon environmental science, girl, and you will learn a lot of interesting things about the way that this world is structured, about the earth, how the earth's core is, directly links to a lot of the reasons why the fuck we're here, girl. Hello, God. Why certain things are the way they are. You're burning down our rainforest, which is our natural coolant system, bitch. The ice caps are melting, which is our, the Antarctic and the Arctic are our natural cooling systems. That's why do you think in tropical areas you're starting to see heavy influx of marine life that you normally wouldn't see? They're fucking confused, especially when it's their migration season. Sharks love deep, cold waters. But now everywhere is fucking warm, so they're confused. So yes, that's why you're seeing bitches getting attacked by sharks in places they normally wouldn't. Because though we fucked up their natural sense to get to where the fuck they need to get to, that way we're not in the crosshairs. Do you think that we've seen, girl, we're going to see a lot more animal attacks in the upcoming years, so don't be surprised. We're going to see a slew of birds and invasive species that we've never seen before. That's the heavy implication, girl. That is a very heavy possibility. Migration patterns are important because animals need that in order to get to, live their lives and to continue on their generations. And they do it based off climate. Eventually, and yes, a lot of them will die off, but with adaptation being involved in evolution, it's going to be very possible that they'll be able to live. Like the polar bears, yes, they're going extinct, and But if a few of them survive and they adapt their, their natural ways accordingly, they'll breed a spawn of fucking, new generations of polar bears that can withstand hotter temperatures. You know what I'm saying? Reptiles will be migrating north. Yes. So you think you're safe up there in the good old north, honey, but no, it's not. It's not going to happen. You're going to start getting snakes too, girl, and iguanas and all that shit. The animals, we've fucked up their homes, girl, their communities, their societies. So it's only right that when the time comes, they have no choice but to fuck us up. See, we think that we're the top apex predator of the world because of our intelligence, but that intelligence is also the reason why we are self-destructive, girl. When you have heavy and lofty ambition, a fucked up, and plus a lot of these people are touched, girl. So they, especially white people and their white supremacy kind of attitude, girl, they think they're supposed to be heavily powerful. So they'll do anything to become that way. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But girl, it's a mess. I want to read a couple more things. With further global warming, every region is projected to increasingly experience concurrent and multiple changes in climatic impact drivers. Changes in several climatic impact drivers would be more widespread at 2 degrees Celsius compared to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Global warming and even more widespread and or pronounced for higher warming levels. Low likelihood outcomes, such as ice sheet collapse, abrupt ocean circulation changes, some compound extreme events, and warming substantially larger than the assessed very likely range of future warming cannot be ruled out and are part of a risk assessment. Now they say that limiting future climate change, they have two solutions here. One of the solutions is from a physical science perspective, limiting human-induced global warming to a specific level requires limiting cumulative CO2 emissions, reaching at least net zero. I'm not a scientist, I don't know that shit. Along with strong reductions in other greenhouse gas emissions, strong, rapid, and sustained reductions in CH4 emissions would also limit the warming effect resulting from declining aerosol pollution and would improve air quality. Basically, we need to throw these fucking gas guzzling cars the fuck away. And I'm sorry, but what I would do is I would impose a mandate. You can mandate people to put foreign substances in their bodies and use this as science experiments to further your own fuckery. So you might as well mandate that we all have electric cars. At this point, does it really matter what your car looks like? Compare it, though. Do you want to be fabulous or do you want to be dead? Do you want to be wiped out? I'm not talking about you just dead. The fact that humanity will be wiped the fuck out completely, girl. How about that? Would you rather have nice clothes? Or, because there's a lot of pollution that happens with that too, with designer factories and things of that nature. There's a lot of pollution in the designer world. Yes, there is. Yes, ma'am, there is. Hunting, fishing, there's a lot of waste and pollution done with that as well. Make sure you guys get into that documentary, Seaspiracy. We might actually do a live about that one day too, because that is a riveting example of what the fuck it is that we're going to be seeing soon, girl. Like when the animals are gone, it's our turn. We will be next. When the oceans dry up, we're definitely next. We're going to be gone. So, and all of this is rooted in our fault. We are the ones to blame. What's up, Naya? How are you? Egyptians used to sun gaze to boost production of melatonin and serotonin. That's why they've been telling people not to even look at the sun. This nigga's been making artificial clouds to cover it up. Child. The ocean also caught on fire. Oh, wow. This July has been the hottest one ever recorded. I'm telling you, the ocean also caught on fire, and the Arctic Ocean has chlamydia in it now. That's what I heard, too. There's been a lot of marine life getting cancer, getting illnesses and diseases and viruses that they've never even had before. Killing off millions of species. And we talked about in Australia, the Great Barrier Reef is dying at a very fast pace. We're going to be having a funeral for that bitch soon. People don't understand that these things are important. When you have these tree huggers that are out here risking life and limb, girl, to protect these rainforests, it's for a very good. Think about it, girl. Like, what is there to really think about? Like, your life, your future generations' life depend on these kinds of conversations. I saw the chat drop significantly. And no, even if you don't like it, girl, it's still a discussion that needs to be had. Who cares about the things in your life when, bitch, imminent death and extinction is upon us, girl? Girl, I don't get why we can't take that serious enough. Everything that we're doing, every interaction that we're having with this earth is killing it, and in turn will kill us. So why the fuck are we acting surprised right now when we see the devastations that are happening across the globe? We are some raggedy ass, greedy, selfish, self-serving bastards. And we need to get our shit together. In the video I'm about to play, the girl says we can't even reverse what's happened right now for 30 years. So you're telling me it's going to take us 30 fucking years, bitch, to not even have any real results made? Because we know it's 20 years for adaptation for a generation to take hold. And then it needs another 10 to 20 more years in order to establish itself. And then even more. You see, it took how many fucking thousands of years for humanity to finally evolve, right? And we're still not even done yet. So imagine what it's going to take for something new to take hold. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, I don't get it. Yes, we do all need to stop eating meat, but it's hard, girl. Girl, I just had a fried fish sandwich earlier, girl. Like, I know, girl, but we got to do better. And remember, the trees are the earth's lungs. Hello, God. Like, when the bees start dying, when a lot of these animals, when you're cutting down these massive trees that have been living for thousands of years, because trees have let to live and where it's supposed to thrive, they're considered to be immortal. They can live forever, bitch. Just look at the petrified forest in Africa. Do you think they're dead trees? No, they're very much alive. And they've been around for millions of years. I had to have someone come yesterday to fix my roof because my vent's been sweating. The man told me that it wasn't made for this type of weather. And that's what's going to happen too. Light bills are going to go higher. There's going to be, people are going to be poor just trying to pay their motherfucking light bills. Because what's going to happen is a lot of these AC vents, these AC units are going to be breaking a lot more often. Because like you said, they're not built to take on this type of heat. We'll probably see skin cancers go up, mostly in white people, girl, because y'all can't stand the motherfucking rain. Now, I may look like bright, but I love me. I need to get some more sun, to be honest with you. Girl, where's my lotion? Girl, ooh, we need to start recycling, girl. Ooh, girl, come on. We need to start recycling, girl, and getting our shit together. That's another mandate. Start finding these bitches. Start making recycling mandatory. Throw away these fancy fucking cars that are not doing our environment no justice. You still have some states here that do emissions testing, but girl, where there's a will, there's a way. People nigga rig that shit all the fucking time to pass so they can get their fucking decals every year, girl. But we need to start like a program for a greener, cleaner earth, girl. Yes, ma'am, honey, because there's not going to be nothing here. Girl, let's get into the video. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I really do. Please continue to like this video, comment, engage in the conversation, please. I really do appreciate it. Yes, God, honey, it's not going to stop until they start affecting the rich. At this point, it's going to affect every single one of everybody, girl, because it's over with. It's over with. Hold on. All right.
Code Red for Humanity. Tonight, we begin with the wake-up call from the United Nations on what they call the unequivocal impact humans are having on our planet. Their once-in-a-decade climate report is out today, and with it comes a warning about what could happen if humans do not aggressively change. It's the world's most expansive report yet into climate change, and there's no sugarcoating it. The UN report says at this point, we are not able to stop global warming for at least 30 years. Essentially, a hotter future is already locked in, a future where extreme weather events like devastating fires, historic flooding, and extreme heat are all more common. The report's authors are essentially sending the world's leaders a final wake-up call: curb emissions and dramatically reduce consumption, or face a world that is fundamentally different. Around the world, fire crews are battling fires tonight on a nearly unprecedented scale. If seeing is believing, many are getting a firsthand look at a worst-case scenario for the future. But the report concludes there is still time to change. Our Maggie Rulli reports from Greece.
Code Red for Humanity, a dire warning tonight from the United Nations about our planet's future. Scenes more reminiscent of horror movies now playing out right before our eyes.
Very problem. My island is on fire.
This is Greece in 2021. Turkey, California, China, Germany. A brand new once-in-a-decade report from the UN is incredibly clear. We are altering our planet. The report detailing how climate change is making extreme weather worse in every region of the globe. Hotter heat waves, heavier rain, more extreme droughts, raging infernos.
You can hear the crackle of these flames. The fires are just ripping through the underbrush here. Look at that. We see it climbing up that tree. It is going all the way up the hillside. We have seen dozens of these hot spots popping up along the road. This is what firefighters are struggling to keep up with.
Here in Greece, the fire is turning the sky a bloodshot, ominous red, forcing residents out of the Greek island of Evia, making conditions all the more difficult for the crews desperately trying to help them to safety.
My heart cries. I leave my family behind.
The Greek wildfires have been raging for more than a week. Neighboring Turkey finally got most of their fires under control after nearly 2 weeks, killing at least 8. And it's all across our globe. Extreme weather of seemingly biblical proportions, now a painful new normal.
Firefighters had been working in this area just a few days ago, but they've already moved on to other areas now. You can see, obviously, the fire is starting again here.
There are at least 93 active wildfires burning in Siberia, over 2.8 million acres destroyed, some villages in the region evacuated. In America's West, record heat, drought, and strong winds feeding blazes like the Dixie Fire up in Northern California, now the largest singular fire in the state's history.
It's a leveled ghost town out here. The surrounding areas still threatened. The air difficult to breathe because of the multiple hazards. Officials say could be weeks before families are allowed to return.
The 8 largest fires in California have all occurred in the past 4 years. Unprecedented 116-degree heat in the Pacific Northwest and all-time record highs in Canada, causing hundreds of deaths earlier this summer. And if it's not record heat and fires, it's flooding. Yet again, Venice's iconic St. Mark's Square covered in water far earlier in the year than normal.
You love to cook, but it's hardly a snap. Well, what if everything...
He's horrified.
Do y'all see that though? That's why I love visuals, because that's the only way we're going to be able to believe what's happening around us. When they talked about in the report rising sea levels due to the ice caps melting at very high rates, girl, like places like you see in Italy, places that you see that are literally surrounded by water will be gone very soon. I live here in South Florida, and if we all know Florida's history, Florida was never a natural piece of land. It was actually submerged under a lot of swamp water. It was commissioned many moons ago by some white bitch to have, things added to make it land-based. We're starting to see that effects here on our coast. A lot of the rich, wealthy homes, like every couple of months now, they're having other construction going on to prevent the obvious and the what's the word I'm looking for? Inevitable action of weathering and erosion. So they're having to move these rich ass homes further back because of the rising sea levels and the devastation that those rising sea levels will bring. You're going to see a lot of structures being destroyed, not just because, again, erosion is a big thing. Now, that may take some time, but a lot of these structures are built cheaply, girl. So it's going to devastate a lot of people. Ms. Stockton, how are you? Winter is there. I would like to go with Eddard Stark from Game of Thrones, but winter is not coming. It may come maybe very small and swift for the next couple of years, but I don't see it coming after another 5-year period. It might start to be winter in other places that are foreign to that concept. Someone said earlier about Texas, was that Nate? That said Texas is probably going to see a crazy winter again this year. And again, unheard of for Texas to go through these kinds of, weather phenomenon. We haven't had a crazy hurricane season in my state for a while now. So that's why I'm like, girl, if one does come, it will devastate the fucking state of Florida, because we know what happens when these things build up. When they finally do hit, they're going to hit. Naya says the government from all over the world has been making the weather. It's called population control, and they're trying to get rid of people. It's called divide and conquer. They want to get rid of the middle class. I will say this. I did hear that China has developed a device that can manipulate weather. And I find that crazy because remember that movie Geostorm with Gerard Butler's fine ass girl? That was a good movie, and it kind of talked about like how humans are developing technology to control and to also create weather phenomenon, and how ultimately that will be our demise as well, because you're messing with, these natural things, girl, that are not meant to be tampered with by us lowly mortals, girl. So that is true. I did read that article. Girl, y'all, child, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I keep my nose to the ground when it comes to humanity and where we're going, what we got going on, different advancements in technology. I even saw a video coming out of, was it Japan or Tokyo, where they have cloned the DNA from dinosaurs, girl. They have a live dinosaur over there right now, bitch. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They do. So, girl, and with our own radioactive bullshit and our own fucked up technology, and not just us, everyone, every government around the world, like, it's a mess. Let's play some more of this video.
Scenes from China, commuters trapped in chest-deep water in train cars, streets transformed into rivers after record rainfall in the center of the country.
How high was the water up to here?
I was in Germany just 3 weeks ago, the site of devastating floods after a once-in-1,000-year rainstorm killed at least 160 people.
There's so many people dead. You don't expect people to die in a flood in Germany.
Buildings in this medieval town, around since before the 15th century, were once thought to be able to stand the test of time, now potentially destroyed by one flood.
From floods that wipe out entire towns to fires that leave forests and homes burned, covered in ash, still smoldering. These extreme, once-in-a-lifetime, unprecedented events are now becoming common, and scientists all point to one thing: climate change.
It is indisputable that human activities are causing climate change and making extreme weather events more frequent and severe. Second, it shows that climate change is affecting every region on our planet.
The UN's report confirming in the strongest language ever that the world is warming at a rate unprecedented in the last 2,000 years. And the report says we, humans, are to blame. Our actions have us at the breaking point, even if we meet the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
The number 1.5 degrees Celsius, there was this, ideally from the Paris Agreement, we would try to keep warming below that level. That looks like a pretty big challenge at this point.
Some impacts of climate change are now irreversible. Our behavior has altered our oceans, changed our planet's glaciers. In Greenland, the amount of ice that melted in the space of one day in July could cover the entire state of Florida in 2 inches of water. And no matter what we do, the ice melt is going to continue and get worse.
Changes in ice sheets, deep ocean temperature, and acidification will continue for centuries to thousands of years, meaning that they are irreversible in our lifetime and will continue for generations to come.
The report concluding sea level rise may be one of the single biggest problems for the rest of the 21st century.
Even if you suddenly stop the increase in warming, you're going to still see melting for decades to come.
What's different about this report? Well, just how confident scientists are about the conclusions.
So this report was produced by over 200 scientists from 65 countries. They worked for 3 years together to assess huge amounts of scientific information, over 14,000 studies and research papers.
Data from the past 8 years has the scientific community more confident than ever before that humans are the cause of what's happening to our planet. But it doesn't have to be this way. While more warming is expected in the coming decades, it's not too late to change trends if humanity changes behaviors now.
We can't undo the mistakes of the past. This generation can make the systemic changes that will stop the planet warming, help everyone adapt to the new conditions, and create a world of peace, prosperity, and equity. Climate change is here now, but we are also here now. And if we don't act, who will?
A call to action tonight from the United Nations. Maggie Rulli joins us now from Greece. And Maggie, as we saw in your piece, you've been in 2 disaster zones just in the past few weeks there in Greece, and of course the flooding in Germany. These extreme weather events taking such an emotional toll on these communities. How are people that you're talking to responding to it all?
Yeah, Lindsay, emotional is the perfect word to describe it. No matter where we are, we always hear the same thing. People tell us they're exhausted, they're angry, and they're scared. Here in Greece, people are tired. They're exhausted. The fires here on this island alone have been going on for more than 7 days. We're talking about these extreme, once-in-a-lifetime events that, Lindsay, now seem to be happening at least once a summer, and they're lasting for longer than ever. I mean, you talk about just the toll that takes on someone, because all of this is so personal. And we heard from that one young man who said, my island is on fire. These fires are burning through people's homes. These ferries and boats behind me, they are all on standby, waiting if someone needs to be evacuated from their home tonight. That takes a toll. We were in Germany. I'll never forget standing in front of this makeshift garbage pile. It was the size of a football field, 2 stories high, and it was filled with people's ruined belongings, everything that they cherish. This is personal, and
people just get exhausted of it. And then soon they become angry. So many people always tell us they're angry their governments haven't done more. They should have known this was coming. We've been talking about climate change. We get natural disasters. Why weren't they prepared? And they're demanding that governments step in and do more, because this is going to keep happening. And that's why people are scared. They're scared for the future. You know, we just saw that UN climate report saying these types of natural disasters are happening and they're going to happen more often. That medieval town in Germany with houses that have been around before the 15th century, you know, one man told us he can't believe his house, it might be ruined. How is he ever going to come back? Are those people going to rebuild if there's going to get more floods? People here in Greece with Athens experiencing temperatures 113 degrees. I mean, how long is that livable for? Are people going to be able to live in these cities and these countries any longer? You know, Lindsay, I think we all know this was coming, but many people thought it was going to be centuries or at least decades in the future. But for places like Germany, for places like Greece, for places in America, all of this is happening right now, Lindsay.
Right. The urgency, I think, has been lost on so many of us. But of course, the fear and frustration, understandable. Maggie, thank you so much for your reporting.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Ciao. So y'all heard all of that, right? Hopefully they don't take me down for playing the entire video, but I feel like when it's a news conversation, that means it's public and claiming fair use. So hopefully YouTube doesn't start the bullshit, because this video needs to remain up. Okay? This video needs to remain up. Okay? I almost cried, even though I watched that last night. Listening to it again, watching it again, just seeing the that's just a small piece of what, you know, is actually happening around the world right now. And when you think about the number of human lives that these things are, these horrible events are affecting, like, it's really sad. And to see that our very own governments, our very own leaders of the world, y'all are the reason for the cause of these issues. Your greed, your filth, it knows no bounds. And your actions and your inactions are going to be the reason why humanity will be extinct. How do you feel about yourselves? When we had Donald Trump last year talk about the myth, the hoax of global warming and climate change. When we have, you know, people that laugh and they ridicule these scientists who devoted their entire lives to these studies, girl. When we have facts, we have data, we have prime examples of the devastation that global warming has on, you know, the world. The people in the world, the animals in the world, the plant life of the world. No one wants to listen, because what it does is it undermines and it destroys their self-interest. To know that there will be no generations, to know that your line is wiped the fuck out, to know that within 100 years, there may not even be a humanity. We will be the next things on the endangered species list. It's very fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's on, but my mind explodes, bitch. When you think of the gravity, the magnitude of this fucking crisis right now. Meanwhile, these people are literally doing press conferences about nothingness. People are fighting over nothingness. And girl, like, we're going to be gone very shortly. MVN, hey boo, how are you? Welcome. Yes, God. I have to get into something else too, because these things that are fucking us up. has other adverse effects. Yes, God. I want to play something for y'all because we have to also talk about other implications, other things that we're going to start seeing. They're going to start seeing, girl, take place, and that have already happened. Because in the little bit of research, just a little bit, I didn't do a bunch of research on this, right? Just a little bit of research that I did, right? Just a little bit of research that I did. Apparently, we talked about permafrost before in the past. I told you we were going to bring that up again, right? So in the spirit of learning about permafrost, it's basically layers of ice, deep-rooted layers of ice that have been fucking frozen in time, girl, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And we know that oxygen can be trapped in ice. We also know that microbes can be trapped in ice as well. And they can live. They actually can flourish under these extreme weather conditions, girl. Isn't that crazy? So now we have scientists who claim to have unearthed a 15,000-year-old virus, girl. I'm gonna play this little thing because you can play it. I'm lazy, but I'm gonna read something really important. I don't think they mentioned in the audio.
Researchers studying Tibetan glacier ice have discovered a treasure trove of unknown viruses, a find that could bring new insights into how viruses have evolved over time. The team published a paper on the microbes they found, and the methods they used to study them, in the journal Microbiome this week. Viruses and bacteria play vital roles, both good and bad, and thus we need to understand those roles much better. Glacier ice provides one way in which to do that, Ohio State University paleoclimatologist Lonnie Thompson, who worked on the new study, told CNET in an email. The glacier samples came from the summit of the Gulia ice cap in western China, 22,000 feet above sea level. Each sample is made up of layers, which act like time capsules, telling a story of past climates and environments. The research team dated the glacier ice to 15,000 years ago and discovered genetic codes for 33 viruses. 4 of those were known to science and at least 28 were novel, or previously unknown. About half the viruses appear to have loved the extreme cold in which they lived, surviving in the harsh environment not despite the frigid temperature, but because of it, Ohio State University said in a statement. Our research shows that both bacteria and viruses are archived in the layers of ice making up an ice core, so these records should allow us to study such things as the evolution of microbes through time, Thompson told CNET. Most of the biodiversity on our planet exists as microbes, most of which we know very little about. The researchers' analysis showed that the viruses likely originated with soil or plants, not with animals or humans, based on both the environment and the databases of known viruses. There's precedent for the discovery of long-frozen viruses. Scientists famously revived a giant 30,000-year-old virus found in Siberian permafrost. That virus targeted only amoebas. Thompson said there isn't any evidence at this stage that the frozen viruses described in the new study are capable of being revived. The paper discusses how glaciers are shrinking due to global warming, a hallmark of human-exacerbated climate change, and says the melting will lead to the loss of those ancient, archived microbes and viruses. The researchers were able to analyze the ice cores with an ultra-clean method that avoided contamination. This process could one day apply to samples from other worlds, like Mars. The research has left scientists pondering some big, as yet unanswered questions. We know very little about viruses and microbes in these extreme environments, and what is actually there, said Thompson. The documentation and understanding of that is extremely important. How do bacteria and viruses respond to climate change? What happens when we go from an ice age to a warm period like we're in now?
Y'all heard that? So when we ask the question, where are all of these diseases, viruses, bacteria, and all this shit coming from, right? There was a report made 2007, I believe it was, when Siberia reached out to their government and told them that, girl, we're seeing permafrost melting. Once permafrost melts, there's no telling what is hidden in there. So we see these dumb bitches are saying that there's no evidence as of now to prove that these microbes can survive. But then in the same breath say that they are actually thriving in these extreme weather environments. Which one is it? Are they alive or are they dead, bitch? Can you make that make sense to me? Please do. Because I know that I may not be the sharpest tool. You know what I'm saying? I may not be the brightest star, girl. Hello, God. But, bitch, I'm not a dumbass. Y'all stated, and I quote, hello, God, that there's no evidence to show that these things can live or be active again. But in the same breath say they're actually thriving in these extreme weather conditions. So thriving means that something is living. Something is, doing something, right? And one thing I found funny is that out of 33 of those viruses, 4 of them were known to us, which means we probably have antidotes and things that can combat those viruses and bacteria, right? But 28 of them we don't know about. Could it be possible that Miss 19 and a lot of other things that have been ravaging our motherfucking humanity, girl, for the past several years, girl, could be products of viruses that were laying dormant in permafrost that is now melted? And someone keeps saying in here, true, very known fact that the government won't tell us these things. They don't want to create panic. They don't want people to lose faith in these fucked up, corrupted governments of theirs. They want to keep getting elected to serve their special interests. And then, as Nate just so eloquently put, you exploit the situation in order to weaponize the situation. There's going to be a lot of chemical warfare, girl. There's going to be a lot of, people, girl, they're already throwing acid on the girls and shooting people up with fucking, deadly virus needles, girl, in order to assassinate your motherfucking ass. 30,000-year-old fucking viruses, girl. 15,000 hidden in ice, girl. So when we talk about the effects of global warming, the melting of the ice caps, we're talking about not just crazy weather phenomenon that will probably prove to be fatal towards human lives, right? We're also talking about the uptake in viruses. We already are stretched thin with our medical technology and our research development, right? We're already strapped amazingly thin. What makes you think that we have the wherewithal or the capacity to keep up with the bullshit and learning about viruses that are 30,000, probably hundreds of thousands of years old? We're going to see more loss in the long run than we are going to see anything else, which is going to further add to the extinction of humanity. We're done. These people have been telling us for centuries, get your fucking shit together as it pertains to how we treat the earth and how we treat each other. This is a sad day. It is a sad day. And to know that there really is there's no future. That's the, girl. Maybe my empathic abilities are taking its toll on me, but this has been weighing me the fuck down. To know that there is no tomorrow, you know what I mean? And no wonder the governments aren't going to want to try to claim these things because they know it's going to cause unrest that will destroy and implode the goddamn economy. Because if you think that in 30 fucking years that there's not going to be any real life left, what the fuck? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I going to this job every day? Why am I helping this world move forward when all we're going to be doing is everything that we do right now is killing ourselves? I see I lost some people, but that's fine, girl. We come here sometimes to take a break from the ills and wills of the world, and instead I'm giving y'all death and doom and gloom. And I hate to be like this, but we have to call it out. We have to talk about it. They said maybe we can course correct. Maybe we have a chance. But there's nothing that we can do about it for 30 years. Do you know what's going to take place in 30 years? Do you know how many of us will probably be already laid to rest, girl? By crazy, dangerous, deathly weather phenomenon? Natural disasters are going to encroach on the human experience, girl. We will be gone in 30. There's not going to be no, that's why they said maybe. Even if there's a handful of us left, we can still survive. But there's going to be a lot of casualties along the motherfucking way. So to be honest with you, it's time to shut down a lot of these fast food restaurants. That way we can pour more money into agriculture. Okay? I'm sorry, girl, like we're going to have to do our part. There's going to be nothing left in 100 years, girl. We will be wiped out completely, girl. What is life when there's no memory of it? The only real reason that life is worth living is because we know that our memories will live on within the generations. But when it's all gone, what's the point? It'll be like humanity never even existed. There will be no record of us being here. That's why this conversation is so fucking important. We need to start pressing the government for these fucking changes so that we can live cleaner and that we can try. Hello, God. The key word is try, girl, to make it up to our next generation if we all survive. And I'm sorry, girl, like, I hate to be that bitch, but girl, I'm sorry. Get your shit together now, girl. Get your soul right now. Start living your best life now. I know, Lord knows I got to start because, bitch, I was supposed to be somewhere this weekend and I feel so bad that I couldn't be there because, you know, life happens, girl. You feel what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be living my best life that right now, bitch. I'm not supposed to be here on live. I'm supposed to be somewhere in another state enjoying my motherfucking self with my bestie. Hello, God. But, girl, I'm not there. So for now, I'm gonna do my best to live my best life, girl. Stop this, girl. These jobs don't give a fuck about you. These other people don't give a fuck about you. These governments don't care about you, girl. You better start having fun now. Live your life now. And if I were you, I would, like MVN said, that's the reason where's that comment at? You don't procreate. Why bring an innocent child into this world when there will be no world? I'm gonna add it to the end of her statement, girl. When there will be no world. So I suggest all you bitches out there right now that's pregnant, and let this be your last one, girl. Why bring life into this world when you know that life won't be there for them when they become senior citizens? That bitch said in our lifetime, millennia from now, there isn't even a chance in hell that we can come back from this right now. Girl, that's serious. Hey, Jace, how you doing, baby? You know how governments are. They're always looking. Yeah, I said that one already. Yeah, Sky Honey. It's the truth. When there's nothing left. And that is the saddest part of all. I always said, you know, if I passed away, God forbid, child, at least my YouTube will be like immortal. People can always come back and, you know, look at my videos and they'll remember me. You know what I'm saying? But girl, in fucking, who's going to give a fuck when everyone is dead? There's no one to remember anyone. The word legacy doesn't even exist anymore. Shit, the word memory doesn't even exist anymore. We'll be lucky because, see, the only reason we know about our past is because our Neanderthal counterparts had great ideas, girl. Fucking pictograms and fucking hieroglyphics and picture images and things like that would help us know about our past. We don't do stuff like that. The only thing that people are going to look, girl, the aliens or our future evolved selves, girl, are probably going to just know us based off, you know, the rusty, crusty Eiffel Tower, girl, if that bitch is still around, not submerged underwater, girl. Hello, God. Based off our structures. We don't have nothing, girl. Everything we have is digital or writing, and it will be consumed by Mother Earth. No one will even know that we were here. That's why this conversation is important. To know that you'll be white, which brings me to another thing, like, how dare us even disrespect these endangered species? Think about what they're going through. I think there's only 3,000 polar bears left in the world. Well, not in the world, because they can only survive in fucking, you know, the Arctic and shit, Antarctic, whatever the fuck. Like, to know that we are wiping out whole lines of species. We are committing mass murder and genocide on our planet. And, you know, we're going off on these countries. Nate, thank you for pointing this out, because I'm going to expand on that. Wars will be fought over water and land. What's going to happen is these political systems will be destroyed. There is going to be upheaval, girl. The children are going to be dismantling every fucking social system that has been created. This world will be blasted into chaos. Survival instincts will begin to kick in. And there is where you'll find the real life zombie attack, bitch. It won't be the undead. It'll be the dead trying not to be dead. I mean, it'll be the alive. You know what I'm talking about, girl. The alive. It'll be the alive trying not to be dead, girl. Okay. Y'all ever watch that show Into the Badlands? It's based on future events, but they're living in what we would consider some past ass shit. It's because of what the devastation that we have wreaked on this poor earth, girl. Killing off ecosystems, killing off fucking humanity, killing off all these species, girl, and just doing all this stuff in the name of what? I have a conversation piece taking place tomorrow night. We're going to be getting into my Unknown series, part 1, UFOs and aliens. I'm going to be linking a lot of what we're seeing with the decline of Mother Earth to the fact that why we are being visited heavily these days by UFOs and aliens. I truly believe that they rely on the natural resources of this earth, and that is why we have seen an uptake in their existence, because they're trying to assess the situation because they're also concerned. I truly believe that. I believe that they are so concerned with the earth. Be damned if they see us, because now we have to come through from the future, girl, from our alternate dimension to see what the fuck is going on with Mother Earth, and to give warnings to these humans who refuse to use their fucking brain to see the evidence that's right before us, girl, that we are going to be our own destruction. I'm not going to go into the conspiracy theory of Miss 19 being the mark of the beast. I'm not, the mark of the beast is, I've always thought that story referenced in the days of, the rapture and shit like that. You will be asked to take on a mark in order to prove your fealty to, the underworld type of vibe. So I don't think that Miss 19 is the mark of the beast. I feel like she's just something that was buried long ago, as we just discussed, and she has resurfaced, the girl. And I'm afraid that we're going to more than likely see a high uptake, again, like I said, in bacteria and viruses that there are no cures for. So, I mean, we are our own undoing, girl, at the end of the day. Miss Sunshine, how are you? Welcome to the platform. who's to say we're not their experiment? I mean, you talking about aliens? I don't really feel like we're their experiment. I feel like if we want the truth, I'm going to get into it tomorrow, but I'll give you like a brief, thought on how I feel. I feel like aliens are future evolved human beings. I feel like they are our ancestors, but I also feel like they are our future. As we know, evolution goes on and on and on and on and on. And I believe in the fact that we have such a crazy relationship with them, and not so much on a volatile level, but more so on a peace level. Because if you notice, there's never really been any violent stories of UFO or, alien encounters. There's always been some type of, symbiotic relationship, it feels like, right? And I believe it's because that they are our future selves. And if you notice, I don't believe that they too much come from space, but more so, other dimensions. There have been stories and well-documented events that claim that UFOs are appearing in the sky, not so leaving to go to space, but appearing and disappearing very quickly. And I believe that's due to wormholes that they're able to create on their crafts. And they fly in and out of dimensions. And, if they are our future selves, it would be plausible, because what if they're coming back to try to save us from something that they went through themselves? Hence why they can no longer live on this earth. If you've noticed, most stories involving UFOs, they can't breathe our atmosphere. And we, for some reason, can't tolerate whatever chemicals are being emitted from their ships. If you've noticed, history shows that many people who've had contact have ended up in the hospital with cancer, or they've had radiation exposure, all kinds of things. So if you look at it, yes, they visit here to collect what they need to collect, and they go back to their own time because they can't stay here long. And for all we know, it's due to what we have done to this planet. We have changed the atmosphere considerably since, the dawn of ancient civilizations. Did you hear of the... I don't use, try to put 19. I don't want my thing to get flagged. That's why I'm not even saying the first word, because, girl, they've been flagging my shit out, and other people that I know shit. So let's just use the word 9. Let's just use 19, girl. Miss 19. They've been running around Los Angeles in the streets, and they've been injected people. You are really heavy. Is this true? Naya, you might be a conspiracy theorist, honey. I would hope not. They walk up to you on the streets and ask if you're vaccinated, and hesitate. I'll inject you, child. I will shoot the fuck out of someone, girl. Like, please, you better not run up on me with that bullshit. I will whoop your ass, bitch. Bitch, I will be Storm, honey, or Monroe, honey. You thought the fucking natural disasters were something, girl. Wait until you see Hurricane YB run through your motherfucking body, bitch. Hello. Tear your ass the fuck up, bitch. Limb from limb. Girl, it's sad we're going to be on here for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to get out of here. Girl, it's just sad. Really start thinking, talk to your kids about this stuff, like have conversations amongst your families with this kind of stuff. I think we need to start talking about it more and preparing ourselves. Get your life right. Get your soul right. Start living. Start having some fun. Experience the world while it's still here. One of my bucket list places is Santorini, Greece, and I don't even know if I'll be able to go now that we know that Greece is going through a lot of shit right now with its own, weather disasters. So a lot of places that you wanted to see, like Italy, probably will be underwater by the end of this year or the next 5 years. So go visit those places now, girl. And all of the people that are living on the coast, even myself, I'm going to be, do I have to move to the middle of the earth? I don't want to live in Indiana, girl. I don't want to live in Ohio, girl, or fucking Iowa, or fucking Kansas, or, Missouri, bitch, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, now we have to find, girl, people are going to start moving to the center of fucking wherever the land is at, girl. We're done. All these coastal civilized areas, girl, they'll be wiped away soon. So I highly suggest people start considering moving, because I know I am. I love where I'm at, but girl, I live in a place where we already suffer. We have Lake Okeechobee in the middle, we have the Atlantic Ocean, and we have the fucking Gulf of Mexico. If any state is gonna go first underwater, it will be Florida. So, bitch, let me get the fuck out of here while I can. You know, most people don't realize that these changes have only been within the first 100 years of the Industrial Revolution. Yes, very true. They have been telling us these things for a very long time. And these people do not want to listen because it messes with the almighty dollar. They don't want to mess with it. It strikes panic and fear throughout the society's child. People start, uplifting fucking governments, toppling governments, girl. They start, there's a lot of things that happen when, the government gets scared or they're going to lose control. The government don't care. The older generation in charge are stuck in their ways. We've been trying for centuries. Yeah, we sure have. Someone commented earlier that it sucks that this generation has to suffer because of what the older generations have done. That's very true. But when we lack education and awareness and we talk about things, look here, I could be talking about Chasing Dallas right now. That live will be up there in numbers. But because we have meaningful dialogue that has to do with some serious shit, that's some real serious shit, we're not going to get the viewership like that. So it's also humanity's fault for lacking interest in the very thing that can keep them alive. Isn't that about a bitch? We would rather watch Love and Hip Hop and watch all of these girls lose their mind and go fucking crazy. They'll get millions of views per season. But as soon as conversations, panels are made to talk about the devastation in the nation when it comes to weather phenomenon, when it comes down to religious perspectives, UFO conversations, anything that's meaningful, when we talk about Black Power, we talk about different movements and social issues, no one's going to come and watch those videos. No one's going to turn on those podcasts. No one's going to, because it's not, they've been trained and socially conditioned to accept that stupid ass way of entertainment. That's what the fuck it is. We are our own undoing. I've been saying it for a long time. So although, yes, the older generations fucked up a lot of things, this generation too has to take some responsibility and say, you know what, girl, we don't care. I would rather people just come out and just be honest and say that we don't give a fuck. And if that's the case, then shame on you, bitch. Go to Greece. I lived in Turkey for 8 years and enjoyed visiting Greece. I still want to go. I really do. Santorini's gorgeous. Go for it. I know, yes. It is so beautiful. I see pictures. Girl, it just looks so gorgeous. I have to get out there. I have my passport now, bitch. So, I got to do what I got to do. Will the destruction happen in your lifetime or down the line? Honestly, I truly believe that the destruction we've already seen it in our lifetime. And homegirl, I don't know if you caught the video I was playing earlier. She was like, in our lifetime, we will see these things take place. In our lifetime. So, yeah. We're already seeing the great cleansing take place. Amen. And there's going to be different waves. I guess we can look at them as seals if we want to talk biblically, right? These seals are poking out, girl. They're being released upon the children. Bill Gates, what Conscious TV told me that Bill Gates purchased a lot of farmland, and in addition to that, is actually the leader in genetically modifying these fruits and vegetables and the different things that are being produced in these farms. And plus his mission is to genetically modify. God only knows what that really means for the long term, girl. Like now you're experimenting with the food that we eat. And now you're the most single, distributor and leader of the very thing that will sustain humanity. And if we look at his way of thinking, he has a really fucked up perspective on life. He truly does. So I don't trust Bill Gates as far as I can throw his little tired ass. He's now in Africa buying up the farm over there too, child. It's over with then. Who cares about farmland now that we know that can the earth, and I guess we're going to have no choice, but now that you think about it, we're going to have no choice but to study and do research on how to genetically modify certain fruits and vegetables and plant life. Think about it. If the earth is going into chaos, mind you, certain things can only grow in certain temperatures. So if the world is having a mass heat wave, certain fruits may go extinct. We might not even see them anymore. And if you pay close attention to food prices now, they're extremely high, just like gas is extremely high right now. Bitch, it's $4 a pound for apples, girl. When apples used to literally be like 2 for $1 or some shit. Avocados are 2 for $3 right now down here, when avocados used to be 5 for $1. Things are getting expensive as fuck right now. Horrible. Horrible. China's doing more buying and damage than Bill Gates. I don't doubt it. You know, with more people comes more industry. And with more industry comes pollution. And we know more pollution is more devastation in the goddamn the lands of life, right? So China, they're at max capacity for their human population. So of course, just by that alone, they're causing way more damage than Bill Gates could ever. You know what I mean? God only knows the stuff that they're actually doing over there. As we saw in the documentary for Seaspiracy, China is the leader of a lot of the killing of our marine life. Like, these bitches are ruthless over there. They don't give a fuck. They have videos, girl, of them tying up dogs, beating them while they're alive. Hello, God. Well, no God, really. Hello. Okay, no God. They're beating the dogs and they're skinning them alive. And they're feeding that to the people. They're killing dolphins and whales and sharks and all kinds of marine life, girl. They're the reason the great white shark is going extinct. They're the reason a lot of these bottlenose dolphins and killer whales are going extinct, because they are hunting them down for their flubber or some shit like that. And it's fucking disgusting and it's horrible. We're going to do a conversation about Seaspiracy. I meant to do it when the documentary came out. But if you guys want to do some homework, girl, go to Netflix. There's a documentary called Seaspiracy. It's really good. And it sheds a lot of light on what the fuck is going on in the fisheries around the world. You know, how the treatment of marine life, a lot of corruption that goes on. A lot of these stamps that come on this food that say, you know, caught in the wild or safely caught or whatever. These bitches are the main contributors to why the oceans are polluted in a motherfucker right now. China has invaded and colonized Africa, and that's Africa's fault. I'm sick of the fact that we live in this time period and people can still conquer lands and people and colonize this. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. The fact that these leaders have actual meetings and auctions to buy and sell fucking continents, fucking communities, fucking lands, all kinds of shit, girl. It's horrible. The main reason I love the idea of Haiti being its own republic, being its own entity. It just sucks that they're considered a third world country and going through all the melee and the bullshit that they go through, girl. It's a hot mess, but at least they're independent and they're free as fuck. We've been pillaging Africa for its natural resources for a millennia, girl. And for some reason, I don't know why, because maybe some parts of Africa are still poor, which I don't understand why. You are the biggest importer, exporter, girl, of all the goods around the world. We need you. Capitalize off of that. But there's a lot of corruption that goes on within Africa's government as well. We've been raping that country, girl. We have been lifting that country up from its natural stuff for so long. It's crazy. And no one puts respect on Africa's name. Kids are still starving. How is the place that harbors the bulk of the natural flow of diamonds, gold, herbs, and spices, the world's medicines, getting taken advantage of on the greatest level possible? I don't understand that. Africa is the reason for our existence. And if you let some people tell, that's the cradle of life. That's where all life began. And the fact that they are going through what they've been going through for so long, it sickens me. Maybe we deserve our fate. When you think about it, are we really worthy of the goodness of this land? Even if we want to make it biblical, Adam and Eve were in a garden. That's all they needed to survive. They had everything they needed to survive, to sustain them. Into perilous fucking situations, that was their curse. To endure what the fuck that we've evolved to now. So are we worthy? I don't believe that we are. Even for the sake of my own existence, like, we're not worthy as a whole. We're not worthy. And it's sad. It's really sad. Yeah. Yeah. Girl. I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I just, this takes a lot out of me. These are really emotional conversations because when you really think about the depth and breadth of what the fuck it is that we're talking about here, it's going to blow your fucking mind, and it's going to put you into a different, place. We're not worthy. We've had many, many, many moons to correct our course. Many warnings that we've had. That's why this is entitled Global Warning. We've been told this for so long. And for humans, we just don't get in our thick skull. We covet greed. We covet profits. And it's like, what is money when there's no one left to spend it? What is money when all of these systems will inevitably be destroyed? What is a mall? What is a restaurant? What is a court system? Because all of that will inevitably be ran over. Money is not going to mean anything anymore. You know what they used to do, and when trading was big and how we got to where we're at now, is the idea that goods were currency. Trading of food and spices, things of that nature. Why can't we go back to that? Money has only brought us to death and calamity. Look at what money has done. We're paying for things that grow naturally. How many times I got to say that? We pay for water. We pay for, basically, these people found a way to recycle energy. We're paying for something that is a natural process. So if I have to say, it's probably time. Give some other species an opportunity. Because we obviously don't give a fuck. We obviously don't give a fuck. We've had many warnings. So many scientists through the years have tried to tell us, girl, this is proof. This is living proof of what's happening, what's happened, what is happening, and what is going to happen. This is my last cigarette, and we'll talk until the cigarette is done. Share these stories with your children. Share these stories with your neighbors. Have these conversations at your next, dinner party, girl, your next family get together. Like, these are serious things. Start asking people, like someone said, call your city, girl. They should be giving out free, especially for homeowners and in apartment communities. Like I believe they give you free recycling bins. Like, and also we need to have more oversight over, you know, these waste management companies too. What are you really doing what you're supposed to do? Because I don't understand why we have landfills if we're doing the right thing by the trash. You know what I mean? Again, mandate that we get rid of these gas guzzlers. We no longer need to rely on gas. We have a renewable energy source, solar power, girl. They have electric cars. Who gives a fuck about a Bentley or a GT or a motherfucking Mercedes or a motherfucking Tesla? Fuck all of that. We need electric cars. Everyone. Yes, it's going to cost some money, but fuck that shit. Start giving a tax credit to people who turn in their gas guzzlers. That way they can afford the electric car. We need to start doing things now. And maybe, just maybe, we might be able to turn this around. And then they're going to yell out, oh, it's going to cost too much. Fuck that. We shit out money on dumb shit, bitch. That $100 billion or whatever the fuck infrastructure bill, who cares about a roadway, girl, when there won't be nothing to do? You know, fuck that. Put that money into making sure that people get these electric cars. Every home, every apartment building needs to be outfitted with solar panels. Everything needs to run on the energy of the sun. Bitch, you need to be asleep at night anyway. Hello, God. Ain't nothing open at night but legs and motherfucking trade, bitch, and bad decisions after midnight anyway, girl. You know what I'm saying? We need to start teaching our kids how to make fires, bitch, and not with no damn matches. Hello, God. We need to really start recycling more. I hate paper straws, but bitch, I may have no choice but to like them. We have to mandate these things. We can force humans to do everything else that they don't want to do, right? Hello, God. We can tell a woman what to do with her body, right? We can tell human beings what to put in their body, right? Like they talked about in the chat with China, how they can stop you from having multiple children, girl. If you can mandate those things, then you can mandate the most important thing, which is how are we going to sustain ourselves? That's important. We're about to face mass extinction. So you should definitely mandate people to change the way they live. These fishing boats, bitch, buy. There's too many of you out there. All this pollution, buy. Set the fucking animals free. Get rid of these fucking zoos, bitch. Get rid of these fucking SeaWorlds, bitch. Put those animals where the fuck they belong so that we can take care of ourselves. And you don't understand, taking care of animals also leaves a big-ass carbon footprint, bitch. Think about all of the waste and the foolishness they got to go through in order to take care of them animals. Girl, why are you taking care of something that innately knows how to survive? People want to buy up all this jewelry, not realizing the labor that went into all of that. That's also another carbon footprint that's largely around fashion, you know, accessories. We want to fly every fucking where. We want to drive every fucking where. Land these motherfucking planes, bitch. With this fucking pandemic, we don't need to be going no motherfucking where. Give the earth time to heal, to breathe, to relax a little bit. The same way we need a vacation, how you think the fucking earth feels, girl? It needs a vacation from our ass. We got to get our shit together. We got to get our shit together. It's already too late, but maybe, just maybe we can do something about it. Share the live out. Share this video out. For those that are going to catch the replay, share this out. Again, have these conversations with your people. Honey. And it may be things that people don't want to talk about, but we don't have a fucking choice. The fucking privilege of stating that we want a legacy. Again, legacy is a word that will no longer be used because it won't exist. There's no legacy without people to remember. We've already established that. And I'll keep saying those things as buzzwords to get it in people's thick skulls. That, girl, these conversations, no matter how boring you think they are, bitch, you'll wake the fuck up when you see the fucking rays come at your motherfucking ass from the sun, girl, when you are literally melting like the Wicked Witch of the West, bitch, or East, or whatever the fuck she was, okay? When all the fish are dying, and then these predators that we fear, like sharks and alligators and pythons and snakes and shit, they are needed. You know why they're needed? Because they're the ones who eat those other species. And if those big apex predators go, that leaves invasive species are going to grow and grow and grow. I know this sounds so stupid, but king crabs are wreaking havoc over there in Iceland, girl, in Alaska, girl. They are wreaking havoc. They're an invasive species. They are destroying the natural habitat and eating up all of the fucking natural things that grow there. So if there's no natural predators to get those motherfuckers, certain life will overrun the other dominant lives. So yes, these big predators that we fear so much, they are needed. Start doing earth science, girl. Start looking at, Animal Planet and shit like that, girl. National Geographic, girl. Like, you learn a lot of stuff. I'm very interested in stuff like it, have been for all my life, basically. I enjoy reading about stuff like that. I enjoy watching documentaries because, knowledge is power. That's the only way we're going to be able to get ourselves out of the shoes that we are an intelligent species. We have the power to create life and take life. So let's start talking about the power to create. How are we going to reverse this bullshit? Whales are highly important to us. They're the ones who help push a lot of the bullshit from the ocean away from us. They are, and I believe they add to the CO2 levels or something like that. I forget it, but watch the Seaspiracy documentary, girl. We're going to be having a conversation piece about that very soon. And I want y'all to know exactly what we're talking about. It was a Netflix documentary, so I won't be able to play anything from there. I may be able to do some clips of picture art, but I won't be able to play no video clip because Netflix don't play that, girl. But it's very important that we do the research on these subject matters. That way we're educated and we can actually start doing little things that can go a long way in the recovery of, the world, the earth, and humanity. It's frustrating and it's very tiring. You're right, Naya. You're very right. And they won't care until it hits them. It sucks that things have to happen to you personally in order for you to have a wake-up call. That's what sucks about this life the most. We have to wait until we're burnt to realize that it's hot. Isn't that about a bitch? And that's ultimately what's going to be our undoing. The Grim Reaper is coming, girl, on a mass scale. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm tired. Ooh, girl. Okay. Ooh, girl. I didn't like how I did that. That's a lot of neck. It's a lot of... It's melting, though, girl. Shit, now I'm asking myself, what's the point in trying to get this body right, girl, if we all be plunged in the darkness? But, girl, if we gonna go, I'm gonna go looking sexy as fuck. Periana to the period in the words of King Payne, girl. Okay. Bitch. I don't know. I appreciate you guys for coming through, showing the love that you always show me. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow night for the Unknown series part 1, girl, where we will be talking about UFOs and aliens, girl. Yes, God. Like this video, continue to engage in the platform. I really love you guys and appreciate everything you guys give me and then some. Okay. Again, my Cash App is at the bottom if you would like to support the channel financially. Also follow me on Instagram. Everything is floating at the bottom. Hallelujah, bitch. You know. And working on some Tika Naturals business too. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Again, fell into some shit, but we're on course correct. Amen. And if we're going to go, we might as well go with the best skin possible. So make sure you guys are looking out and follow my business page at Tika Naturals. Yes, God, honey. So you guys are updated on all of the things that I'm going to bring you with, the new collection that I'll have coming on. And yeah, that's it, y'all. I love you guys. Thank you, MVN. Love you too, baby. We need to learn to have, how to make counterfeit money. That way we would have the social standing to change things. And that's another thing too. Like, I don't really know people with money. Like, if people like us had money, like you just said, a lot can happen, right? So I just wonder, like, you got a lot of these so-called activists out here, girl. They need to start using their platforms to talk about these things. You have people like Angelina Jolie who are in the UN who do her work. You have people like even Ashton Kutcher's on Bathed Ass, girl. He's part of a big movement when it comes to climate change and things like that. You have a lot of these people who have a lot of power and a lot of influence, so they need to start utilizing them. Maybe we can start a campaign to start getting some signatures, because something has to happen, girl. Like now. Seriously. Nate, appreciate you, boo. It's me, D. Thank you guys so much. We love you and appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, D, it's free 99. Make sure y'all tuning into D too. He's a content creator, child. Yes, God, I'm gonna go over there and support his channel. All the other content creators that may have been in the building, support them as well, honey. Okay, we speak real shit, honey. We have good, entertaining commentary for the girls. Okay, yes, ma'am. All right, y'all. Be blessed and never stressed. Have a good day. Hopefully, I'll see you right back here tomorrow night for another great discussion piece that we're gonna have. And child, we have tomorrow, but tomorrow's not guaranteed either, bitch. But yeah, and again, show your love and pray for the people over there in Haiti, girl. It's devastating, girl. Like, those people are already trying to recover from the shit that's been happening to them over and over and over and over and over. So it's just heartbreaking to see them go through something like this again. Right now, the death toll is at 300. In 2010, like we said before, that death toll was nearly 300,000. So hopefully, girl, it's not that extreme this time. But it gives us a lot to think about when we talk about global warming and climate change. Amen. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. That way you'll be updated every time I'm uploading something new. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. Enjoy your Saturday night, guys, okay? And the rest of your weekend. All right, guys. Bye.